So I'm doing a lot of comments and responses this particular period, and I think it's been due. We've been talking a lot about the PS5 Pro hardware and all, but y'all's comments have basically been just sitting there, and I really want to talk a little bit about some of the things that you guys are talking about. So shout out to the community. Welcome to the Video Game Fight School channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'm gonna look at a few comments here, and watch me hope 6560 put a very interesting comment here in the feed. They said, I feel today's gamers aren't interested in gaming. They want to fight each other over whose box is better and more expensive. About FPS and ray tracing, it's worse than when I was in middle school. Meanwhile, I pulled out my modded Nintendo consoles and PS3, and I'm playing Zelda, some PlayStation 2 games, the DS, GBA, and 3DS. No fancy ray tracing or 9K, 30,000 FPS, just good story and fun mechanics. This is a very interesting comment at the end of the day. Now, here's the thing. Online discourse is a small fraction of gamers that exist. The reason you would know, look at my views. They are mediocre views. Go look at the views of every other person that's talking about this stuff. Even the ones that are making so-called, in quote, big views, you can still kind of go ahead and just collate all of those particular users to a very small select audience. In fact, let me see if I can actually show you the back end of what's going on in terms of this YouTube thing, so I can put it into some, interesting perspective. So you just don't think, I'm over here blowing smoke. The way the YouTube analytics actually correlates the data and correlates the audience, it's actually very interesting. So this is my audience feed for the Video Game Fight School channel, okay? This is the channel. There's a segment here that says channels your audience watches. These are the channels that everyone that watches my videos, these are the channels that we all watch. So Plume Gaming, Oh No It's Alex, Digital Foundry Clips, Jwood 2010, and then there's another page, Destin, Dreamcast Guy, Spawn Wave, Smash JT, Fritanga Plays, and Dirk Griggity, who is the Xbox YouTuber. Shout out to you. He subscribed to the Video Game Fight School channel. I saw that. Oh No It's Alex Streams, X1 the Gamer, Joe from Seattle, Xbox Frontline, Hold the Line, King. These are the folk that host this particular community of gamers that talk about the gaming industry. And the videos that you notice in my last 90 days that are the highest are the ones that talk about Xbox and the gaming community at large. So the reality is there really isn't much of us that are actually talking about this stuff, and there really aren't many of you that are actually watching these videos. That's just from what I see from the audience as the statistical reality. So don't let this discourage you. That's what my video is about. Don't let this make you feel like, we're not interested in gaming. It's a very small select number of us that are talking about this stuff. And you know what's crazy? We actually do game. Like, I guess it's very interesting because let me show you another demographic, because I think the only way that I can explain this is by showing you the data so that it will give you a very interesting sense of what in the world is going on. You see, most of us, we love to game. We just don't have time to game as much. It's easier for us to actually engage in the conversation than to actually veg out gaming all the time. And I'll show you this from a perspective. Now, I don't know how old you are, but you said it's like my days. It feels like my middle school days. My middle school days were over 2 decades ago. If you were wondering, what the age gap between you and me might be, maybe we may be the same age. But check this, particular data set out. This is the audience makeup of people who watch videos on the Video Game Fight School channel. 13 to 17-year-olds is 0.2%. 18 to 24-year-olds is 11.6%. I have a feeling you are probably in this category here, the 18 to 24-year-old category. That's my suspicion of exactly where you are for the comment you made. I may be wrong, but I suspect it. Now, look at the biggest numbers, the 25-year-olds all the way to the 54-year-olds. Do you know what we're doing on a given day? We are working. we are slamming the 9 to 5 overnight shifts, and we can hardly play video games. Some of us have the opportunity where we have jobs that have downtimes where you can probably maybe, engage in a little gaming. But for the most part, the downtime that we have is in the gaming conversation. That's where you see us mostly putting our efforts, because we still feel connected to video games by still doing that. But we're not the majority regardless. Do you get it? Do you see how the data works and how it may, because again, you are in the cycle. So the moment you click a video game five school, channel video, YouTube says, hey, here is a video from Dirk Griggity. Here's a video from this people that I just showed you. And YouTube feeds you that comment. Dude, I go to those channels and I look through the comment section and I see some same people that comment on the video game five school channel commenting on those channels with Destin and all the above, because we watch similar content. We're passionate about the same things. And I don't think you call it fighting on all fronts. Now, yes, there are people who are bad elements. I've seen some of them. Hyper PlayStation fans, hyper Xbox fans, the ones that when I make I've made videos on this channel, I'll get called an Xbot for months. Then I'll make one video and somebody will come and call me a pony or something like that. There are people like that. They don't like to enjoy the discourse from an objective perspective. So they will seem like they're fighting, they're antagonistic about anything you say or anything you do. We do have elements like that. But I don't think it's a representation of gaming at the end of the day. Also, there's a side where we're all grown, we're adults, and adult conversations are not the easiest conversations that, to digest in many senses. Adult conversations are harsh. Adult conversations are tough. They can be strong to the ears. You know what I mean? So when people, come into the conversation and say, man, why is everybody fighting? We just all need to game. We're just talking, actually. I don't think we're actually even fighting, but people perceive it as that because the conversations are tough and they're strong, and we're calling out nonsense and BS that goes on because there are people that make money based on just pure silliness. Like they literally sit here, they talk about nonsense, they misinform people, and those people they don't know any better, and they give them money. So someone's got to come in and provide what I think is an alternative perspective that's coming with the data, that's coming with the facts. So the 3,000 FPS that you're talking about, that by itself is a data set. Don't make light of it. Don't minimize it. It will be important to you once you eventually dial into some of these aspects of gaming that we're in. You may look at it and thumb your nose at it, and many console players did that for years. But once they got a taste of 60 FPS on the PS5 Pro and the Series X, all of a sudden, they want to start having a device that is going to match a 4070. They instantly transformed into PC gamers. I was laughing when I saw that. I was like, oh my gosh, they are now basically, PC gamers. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to help them realize, hey, what it is that you are wanting has existed for decades. And if you want to keep that particular taste of yours satiated, then you're going to stop being a console gamer. Like it's almost incompatible at the end of the day. So those conversations are really harsh because, you're trying to tell somebody what you think they should do. You're trying to change their behavior. They're not really going to appreciate it. Thanks for your comment. I appreciate it. Talk to me in the comment section, folks. Is there anything that I said that's crazy? Is there anything I said that I missed out on? I'd love to hear your perspective on it. Once again, peace out.